at the end of 2024. And within 2 weeks, somebody else had mentioned it to me as well. So I got curious. I attended a class early last year. And then that's when I understood that with all these chatbots, it's the way you talk to them that you get the answer. So I understood that you could tell ChatGPT to tell you things in 200 words as opposed to just spewing out everything for you. You could tell it to explain to you like a 13-year-old girl, So that's what I was doing anyways. That's how I kind of got involved. And from there I moved on to another class again for AI for SMEs. And that's where I was exposed to different tools to use for different things, um, automation, and things like that. But I still wasn't sure what to do with it, So I went for another class again during the summer, and that's where we were taught different things, voice flows, automations, and things like that. Um, well, I'm still not using it anyway. I'm still not sure what I want to do. But I know that I learned how to build workflows, and I tend to use them every now and then for people, but I've not actually gone out there to using it. And my strength is in make.io, but I recently learned about Zapier. So I just thought, okay, you know what, whatever I've learned, I'll share with people. So Zapier is like all um automation systems. Is all about automating different workflows. But I think with Zapier, why Zapier is out there is because you can connect about 7,000 different apps with Zapier. So you can connect Zapier with Slack, with Google Sheets and all kinds, about 7,000 anyway. So that's why it's kind of out there and very big. So it's it uses like again like a lot of all this automation. When you automate systems, you use API. So you use API to let the apps talk to each other. And with Zapier, Zapier has you create Zaps. Yeah, the Zaps Zaps is the same as workflow or automation. So in Zapier, the automation, the workflow is called a Zap, and a Zap is one or more events. So if you have a trigger is something that a trigger is when something makes you do something else. So when this happens, you do something else. So a trigger is maybe if someone sends an email and then you respond. That's your next action. Or if someone fills out a form, that it triggers the email. So when you have one or more actions, then that becomes a Zap. So with you can have a trigger and an action, and that's a Zap. And you can have a trigger and 2 or more actions. That's still a Zap or a workflow. With Zapier right now, they give 14 days free trial. Yeah. After 14 days, then you have to pay for it. But if you create one trigger and one action, then you can be free for as long as you want to do. So you can create like a Google form, yeah, and an email. So you can do that, and that's free. But if you say, okay, somebody sends a Google form and that triggers an email, and maybe you have to update a table, then that's not free. I don't know. Am I making sense? All right. So so like I said, a trigger is when you a trigger starts an event. Yeah. And what happens from a trigger is the action. So if somebody is for example, if you go online and you order something from Amazon, right? That triggers something. That triggers maybe a message going to the marketing team or the sales team to send that to you. So, and all automations would have a trigger. There will always be something that will make you do something, react. There will always be something that would start that will make you have an action. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So with every trigger happens, with every trigger comes an action, or one or more actions anyway. Then in Zapier you have the tables, you have let me see for like I can show you. Okay, you have Zapier has they have the Zaps, then you have the tables. The tables are like something you can automate in Zapier anyway. So for example, if you have to update a table from a trigger or it's part of an action, then Zapier has their tables. You can either use maybe Google Sheets or you can use Zapier tables. But the thing is that with Zapier tables is that they are built for automation. Yeah. Even if whatever happens, if you do an update, it will reflect on it as opposed to Google Sheets. So that's one of the differences. Then you have they also have interfaces as well. So where you can build mini websites to connect to your workflow. Yeah. So I'll show you the screen. Then Zapier has something called Canvas. With Canvas it's a place where you can build an app, right? Sorry, build a Zap, right? But with Canvas, it shows you what you want to build. So what you do when you prompt it, right, it will build what you want to. It will show you what you want to build. It will make you visualize everything you want to build. So from there you can plan on you can plan and decide if you want to build that particular aspect of the Zap or not. Yeah, the normal Zap. But let me show you the screen. Actually, it's like I'm just talking to myself. Okay, so this is Zapier screen. Yeah. When you come to create, you have all of these different things you can do with it. Yeah. With the normal Zap, you can just prompt it and it will build something for you. Yeah. But with Canvas, it will show you what you want to build first. And then you can go and decide, okay, do I want to add this? Do you want to take this out? And it will also give you like different ideas to see if you want to add to what you're building. Does that make sense? No?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So those are the bits. These are the bits that come. These are the bits that come with when you want to create anything from Zapier. Okay. Like we all know, I'm sure by now we all know that with anything to do with AI is to do with the prompting. Yeah. So with when you want to build a Zap as well, you come to the Zapier screen. You put your prompt in here. Yeah. And you start. But what this has that works for it is that it has a co-pilot. This co-pilot helps it think and helps you build what you are building. This co-pilot is not the same as the Microsoft Copilot. This is just like maybe you're in a flight and you have your pilot, you have a co-pilot. So it kind of helps build whatever it is you're building. And if there's any problems, it's a co-pilot that will help you fix the problems. Does that make sense? So what I'll do tonight, I'll build a workflow, a normal workflow, a normal Zap, and I'll build one using Canvas as well. So you see the difference. Yeah. Okay. I already have like a prompt here. Sorry. I already have a prompt here where someone submits a Google form. Yeah. And then you send it thank you via Gmail to it. So I would, I don't know if you can see it. So it just says when someone submits a response in the Google form. I've already built the form anyway. Let's see. Okay, I already have like a Google form. I use this one. So this is the form. It just says it's like a feedback for an event. Yeah. So I'll fill it out.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So in order to start off with the prompt that you did,
Yes.
Is the first step building all the apologies? Is the first step building all the forms that you would need for it and all the, is that the first step?
Yeah, you know, for any of these automation tools, right? Any of them before you build them, and you're using a Google form, is you always have to like you should have built your Google form and do one running first before you build it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if no, I don't want to show you that.
So when
Okay.
you say when someone responds to that form you've built, you want this tool to build an automation where thank you emails generated, and
Yes.
then you want to be able to respond via email to the feedback.
Yes.
Okay.
So because when you are building the tool, right, it looks at the information it's taken to build from. So when you start the trigger has to say, okay, I'm seeing this information from the Google Sheet, sorry, from Google Form. So then it's saying I can work with that. If that makes any sense. And then once you've run that, when you are building the next action, it looks at the previous action to take the mapping from there. Yeah. I'll show you. I'll just run I'll fill one of the forms now. Okay. So once you get your prompt to run, it starts to build anyway. It starts to tell you the steps that it's going to take. Yeah. It's basically thinking of the way it understands it and builds it accordingly. So it's saying understand to capture the response from Google Form, then read the feedback and send a thank you message. So the Google Form is the trigger that captures the new responses, and then the manual steps are the feedback and the Gmail sends. So you can just get to build. And then for me, it takes you. So some people normally you can, if you don't want to use the prompt, you can do it from scratch. I'll show you that way as well. But I prefer to use the prompt to build. So it takes you to the editor. So this is the trigger. Yeah, and that's the trigger is the Google form. And on this on the screen here, you have to map it. You have to choose okay, so you have to map it before because I've already logged onto this, right? So it's easy for me to do it. But normally, if you do it for the first time with this Google form, you have to sign in. You have to sign in using your email, your Google, if you have a Gmail account. Yeah. So before you go in, you have to sign in, and then you choose the Google form. Then the trigger event, you have to choose what the event is. That the event is that you want it to send. The trigger is when you receive a new form. So when you receive a new form, then that triggers the other event. With this, okay, this when you do for the first time, you have to all these things you have to kind of connect to the you have to connect to Zapier. Sorry. So for this now, I've anything I've done with Zapier, I've had to connect. When I was using Google Tags, once you try and configure it here, it makes you connect it. So you have to just go through the flow. It's going to go through your email, your Gmail, and then you can connect. So you choose the response and then the account, my email account, and then you continue. With this, it takes you to the steps and then you test. Because with all of these with Zapier and all the other ones, Make and all the rest, they always make you test they always make you test the as you go along. So when you build the first action, you have to test it before you go to the next one. So I've set it up. Then next one is to configure. So I have to choose the form I want to use. And continue. Then you test it. So once you've got it 3 ticks, then that's okay. It's good to go. But records, then you have to use to continue to the next stage, to the action. You have to choose the records you want to use for the flow. This is what I just did. Yeah, this one I just did. So I'll continue with the selected record. If you've done, if for example you're doing this again, you filled out a new form, then you can tell to find the new records and then you choose the new records. I've just done this, so I'll just continue with this selected record. Okay, the second step is sending me a Gmail. And the action is send email. Send me an email. So again, all of these I've already connected all of these from before. And then you continue. So the email will be sent to the person. The email is going to be sent to the person that filled out the form. the reason why you run the first step is so that when you are doing the second step, you can now map the second step to the first step. Yeah. So because I filled out the form, I've already this has already gone through. Then when you're sending this, now the email is to the person. You're sending email to the person that fills out the form. So when you come to this screen, it's either you click on plus. I just use the backslash, and it takes me to the information from the Google form. You can either use Copilot suggestion, or you can choose yours. So I just use what the suggestion. This is the email address I'm sending it to. You can add whoever you want to CC to and BPPCC if that's what you want. This. So the subject is you can if there's a subject, you can either choose the subject from here. If there's one, I don't think there's any subject from here. I don't want to choose from here. So I'll make this manual. I'll just say thank you. And the body of the text, the body of the email, you can say hello, and then the name of the person, the backslash, you can pick the person from here. And put a comma, and then just write a message. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, and that's about it. And then you continue. Test it. So the data that comes in from this step is this, and then you have sent an email. I'll just go through my email and see. Okay, so that's it. That's the email that's come through. Okay. And there's you can add different things here as well. For example, if I need to say, okay, for this message, right, instead of using dear, the full name, I can format this, add a step and format this, maybe use a formatter. And I can choose an event I want to format. So in this case, I want to format the text. Continue. And then I want to transform. I want to split the text. I want to split the first name and the second name. I want to split the first name and the second name. So the input will be the full name. And the separator is with this, because this tells you whatever you want to it gives you different things you want to split, but because the default is space, you just leave this blank. Then continue. And test it. So you see the output is the first thing, Jade. So then I can come here and change this name to just the first name. If I put this backslash and then, because this came out from the formatting of a Zapier, it has the output, which is the first name. And continue. And if you test it, okay, now it's saying hello Jade. Yeah. Does that make any sense? Hello.
Yep, we're here.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
So with this you can add.
You've got a question from Sunday. Sunday's got his hand up.
Okay. Hello, Sunday.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What I want to ask is that, is there a place where you have to integrate all these emails or something, or link them up? Or is it from the settings or from where?
A lot of times it's settings, because once you start once you have a trigger, there's always a setting here, right? And the setting will more or less make you pick whatever it is you want to show in the next place. So if with this one, I wanted to send an email, and the email is based on what you've sent from the Google form. So when you are picking the settings, from here, I have to pick the settings from the Google form. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, maybe because I'm a little bit confusing it with integration, where you have to go to a place, put in some setting logins, and then log in the account or anything.
Yeah, that's what I was saying initially, that because I've already logged in before, but if you're doing for the first time, I've got all these settings. I don't know if this is what you mean.
Oh,
with
okay,
Google
okay.
Task, Gmail, all this, I've got my API as well. Yeah. So once you start, when you do it for the first time, when you come in here, when you choose from here, once you choose Google Form, you need to log in to Google Forms using maybe your Gmail account. Does that make sense? If you're using Google Docs,
Yes,
you
it
need to
does.
log
No, I
in.
get
Anything,
no,
yeah.
It was that particular step I missed. I didn't know that I thought you were starting from the very scratch, but now I noticed that you've done all the integration before now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
when I was starting, that's all. I was just, anything I was doing when I was testing, I just kept logging in and authenticating myself. Which I was saying that once you it's either when you start, you can just come here and maybe see if you can just do your connections for what you want to do, or you wait, and when you start, then you can start connecting.
So the process, the flow would prompt you to connect whatever you need as you go along.
Yes.
And then we'll give you the chance to do that.
Yes. Once you do the setup and you choose what you want to choose, you have to connect. It takes to connect straight away.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
John,
I think John has his hand up. Yeah.
Hi, John.
Oh, okay. Hi. Thank you so much. I kind of followed what you were saying, because it's similar to what I used in the office with Power Automate. But one clarity I wanted to ask is, what if where you have multiple emails? Maybe you have different people answering your forms, and you want to respond to those multiple emails all at once. Is that doable?
Yeah, because once you've where is it? This is just because this is this is just because this is the email from the person, right? This email address is for any email that comes from the form. So whatever form that comes through, it will choose the email address from the form.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to be putting all those emails.
No. It's just
okay.
It's just identifying. God, it's just that I'm not very good with Zapier. I don't know if I can show you Make. I don't want to confuse anybody.
No, I do get what you're saying, because we
Yeah.
have something similar in the office with Power Automate, but I know we do usually keep it to do several emails at once. So I don't know if Zapier has that functionality.
Yeah, it's the same. It has the function. Where has it gone now? It has it's the same thing. It has the functionality. It's the same thing. Once the first form you run is just for you to pick the right information, just for you to do the mapping correctly. So it doesn't matter what it is.
Perfect.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's just for you to do the mapping correctly. So that's why you have to always run it first. So you can say, okay, this is what I'm picking from here to go here. This is what I'm picking from here to go here. That's why it does that.
Okay, cool. Okay, I get what you mean. So it's not that you have to come back running the flow manually, putting the email.
No. It's just for you to know that, okay, this is the output from the format. The output means email. Okay, that's it. This is the output from the form. The output is name. This is it. So that's just it. But once you do that, then whatever it is you run, we pick the correct information.
Now I have one question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that solves it. Yeah.
Okay, and then when you finish with all of this, then you can now then you can publish. If you want to publish, you publish it, and then it's kind of good to go. And then when you come here, so that's it, right? You can change the title from where we were, and then you can switch this off. You don't want it on.
Okay, can I ask you another question?
You can switch off on from here. Yes.
This example is where we're auto-responding to a Google form response.
Yeah.
What are the other use cases that it can do, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, let me do one with Canva. It can do. I guess it can do about they have about 7,000 different apps you can do. So you have to figure out what trigger you want to trigger. You can do your HR. I did something on HR the other day, onboarding, payroll, recruitment, and all that. You can do all of that. So it starts from when the person, maybe the employee, submits the form, and that will now trigger the onboarding, trigger all kinds of things. So it's always something that has to trigger something that's, so that's why let me try and do something with what do you call it? Canvas. So when
does it have to always start with a form? I think
that's why I said with HR, when it can be an email, you can receive an email. Yeah, and that will now trigger, okay, this email has come from maybe the marketing department, and that will now trigger something to the sales department, that is a client that needs something. So it doesn't have to be a form. It can be anything. But you have to have a trigger so you can have an action. Yeah, you have to have something that will start it, and then something that then it leads to other things.
Okay.
See if you can do something.
John has his hand up.
Okay, I can't see anybody's hand. Okay, hi, John.
Yeah, it's me again. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, you mentioned about HR, which is quite interesting. So the question is this way: if you have a client that wants you to set up the workflows for their office, do you get them to create a Zapier kind of workspace? Because I know this is mostly on Google. I'm pretty sure they will have other APIs, or do you have to do it from your own personal workspace? because of data and stuff.
This is why I've been stuck since this when I did this workflow in August, and I was asking this question. Nobody could answer me until 2 weeks ago. Apparently, what you have to do is get them to subscribe to Zapier. Yeah. So it's either you build it from your Zapier. Okay. It's either you build it from your Zapier and export to them, or you build on their own.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's why I've been stuck. Because anybody asked it, I thought you had to do some kind of interfacing and all that. Nobody was answering until like someone told me 2 weeks ago. So, but then you have to tell them about Zapier, about subscription and things like that. And that's why you have to like monitor. So maybe for the first month, you have to. I just read this output today, and you have to monitor. You have to now monitor the clients, yeah, and see how they're using Zapier, so that because once you stop working with them, then they will know how to continue with the subscription. If that makes any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So because from what I gather is like the Zap itself, the Zap doesn't cost anything to build. It's just the execution that you pay for. So if you have like 2 different actions, then it's 2. You pay for 2. If it's 3, you pay for 3. That's where the money goes to. So if someone wants to test, maybe in the next 14 days, you can build as many as 5, how many actions you want to, triggers and actions, yeah? The workflow, it doesn't matter because it's 14 days. But once the 14 days is over, you have to pay for it. Else, you can just continue as free, but you just have 2. Just two workflows. That makes any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So maybe, yeah, okay, all right. So I'll try and do one. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Just to build up on John's question there. If you get let's say I have a client and they wanted a workflow and I got them to have their own Zapier account to do it and mine, I was going to ask what the differences would be. And I think you touched on it slightly by saying that once I leave the client can run it by themselves if it's on there, if they have the full control.
Yes.
So that's the major difference. There isn't anything else outside of that.
No, because you have to train them on what to do anyway.
Security as well.
Yeah, there's security as well, yeah. But you have to train them on all of these things, on how to use it, and on security and all those things. Which is why I guess sometimes you have to, once you build, you do the training, and then maybe you do the maintenance for maybe a month or 3 months, depends on you. Yeah. And then once you're finished, then
I mean, my initial train of thought is to have ownership of the actual Zapier and run and monitor it and maintain it for the client, rather than the client having it. But if that would make things too difficult or tricky, then considering that alternative is useful.
I think you can do that. I was just not sure of how to connect. That was when I was stuck, because I wasn't sure how to do it for a client. If you want to do it for if you want to take charge of that then I guess you can do that as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that would be beneficial.
Because then they have to release their email address to you and all those things. Do you understand? So that will be on you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Don't let me order you up again.
No, that's fine. I want to try and do something on Canvas. So I have a prompt as well. I can find the prompt. Yeah, I have a prompt. Again, this starts with the Google form. Just easiest for me.
I thought you said Zapier had his own alternative of Google Form.
Yeah, but when I tried to use that, it just kept going on and on. I was trying that this afternoon. I just thought, you know what, I'll do later. There's something else. There was something I was missing. That I couldn't get Copilot to fix, because normally Copilot should fix it. but I couldn't get Copilot to fix. You see what happens, right, with this Zapier. Whenever you are building something, you have Copilot to help you out. So even if you get stuck, yeah, you come here and choose Copilot and tell it you are stuck. And then Copilot will now do it for you. Will now go through the motion and tell you you are stuck. And some cases, it will now resolve the issue. And I guess that's why it's different from the other ones I've used, because it has this Copilot to help. So I'll try and do this Canvas. The Canvas is meant to help. It's meant to show you what it is you're doing. I meant to visualize the whole thing once you've put in the prompt. So my prompt is basically to receive a form and then send it to OpenAI to generate an outline of whatever it is on the form, and then create a Google document, yeah, with the outline from OpenAI, and send in notification to Slack as well. So as generate system. So it's kind of planned the whole thing for me, and it's telling me that we can also add an email notification with the Google document link using Gmail. So it also gives you things that you can add as well. So in case you haven't thought about other things, then you have other things to add. You can also store all the form submission and generated outlines in Zapier tables for tracking and future reference. Yeah. So you can do this as well. So maybe I'll just add the Gmail, the email link, and start building. So with this, then you can now look at the asset. It's called the asset. See what it is that is done. Can you see anything? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what it is. It's done. So if you want to change it, so I think it's meant to give you a visual view of whatever it is you want to build, and then you can decide if you want it or not, and if you want to change it. As opposed to the other one where it just tells you what to do. If that makes any sense. And this is what I want anyway. I want to to fill out the form. I want to send to OpenAI. Is maybe about the topic. Send to OpenAI. OpenAI will now generate a training on that topic, and then you send to Google. On Google Docs, in Google Docs, sorry, and then send a message to Slack to my team members. Okay, let me fill out something. Let me fill out Google Docs. Topic. Okay. Okay, so trying to pick the form. I think this is the form. This one. Yeah, that's the record. Okay. So this one, with this one, the Open AI is asking for my account, which is my API. This is the API asking for. So the idea is to tell Open AI to create. Hello?
John has a question.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, just a quick one, please. You mentioned of the API. How do you go about that? Since there are several APIs.
I know just one API. I created my API on OpenAI. I can send the link
okay.
later. That's what I used anyway. But I think they all have APIs anyway. All of them. I mean, if you're using 11 Labs, there's API. If you're using Microsoft, there's API. This one seems to have worked. I've used it for Make, and I use it for this as well, and it's working. So all of them seem to. When it just says it wants the API, then they tell all of these things. We always kind of link you to where you have to create the API.
Okay.
So I can send you when I created my API, I can send you the link from it's about 2 or 3 minutes from YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm doing here is that I'm trying to create a video content. So I've said to Google Form, this is the content that I want to create on this topic. So I'm saying to ChatGPT to create a prompt on that topic, like a training material on that topic. Yeah. So I'll put here, I'll just put topic of the video. And then that fits. Let's see what comes up with. It's created some kind of topic. I don't know if you can see it. So I've said here that what has come in from the form, it should write something about it. So it's when I've tested it's written something about AI in the first quarter of 2026. So that's the response. And continue. Then now I want you to store this information in Google Docs. So just in Google Docs, create document from text, have the account details. Continue. The document name be the same. Name of the what is the topic of the video. The content will be the response from ChatGPT. And I'll probably put the date published as well. Put the published date published. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm in my own little world.
Yes, you are making sense.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
Well, with you.
Okay. And then that's all I need from here, actually. So I'll just continue. So test this. So this is yeah, so this is the data that came in. That's what's going out. So with Slack again, I've already authenticated my Slack here. It's going to send to Slack channel. Select an account for my Slack, and then continue. Slack channel is just put Zapier. The message is okay. Then I'll also add the link of the Google Docs. Okay. Some of all these fields, you have to fill them according to what you think you need to do. If you want to add like a URL to make it work, then fine. So all these things are just like you fill them accordingly. So I'm just filling out what I need. I believe I probably would have received a Slack message. Let me check my Slack. Okay, there. That's the message I just come through, and it's got the link of the Google Doc. So that's the information that came from OpenAI, the Google Doc. So so that's it. So I guess with the whole Canvas situation is that you visualize what you want to build, and then you can make changes accordingly. That's the difference between Canvas and just the normal Zap. And then maybe continue and then publish. Okay, I'd send an email. Okay, to send the email as well, all this is basically Gmail, send email. Who am I sending it to? I'm sending it to send to the email address. Okay, so I guess when it's asterisk, you have to fill out. Okay, that's it. Okay, check my Gmail. Okay, so that's no, that's not it. All right, so that's it. And then you can publish if you want to. So that's basically it. So with this particular one, what I did was that maybe the company they're into building videos, right? So the form comes through saying that this is the topic of the video, this is when it's going to be published, and then you send to OpenAI to do a summary of that particular topic they've sent, and then the summary that they've done is stored in Google Docs. Yeah. And then you now send information to your team members on Slack, telling them that the information has arrived and this is the link. This is the link of where the information is stored. And then finally, you send an email saying that everything's whatever you want to send an email for. So that's what this one did by using Canva. And then when you finish, then you can publish what you want to publish. Does that make sense?
So thank you very much. So before you even publish, it's already sent the message, right?
Yes. You send the email.
The email. So what the essence of publishing? What does the publish now do?
The publish is that
before you publish, I thought the publish should be when it is now set to be active. Like, do now send the message. But
yeah, because you're testing everything, so it's okay. When you finish testing and it's working fine, you can publish. Publish means that once it's published, then whenever any of the things happens, it just runs itself anyway.
Okay.
Because like the one I did something about my email, right? So because as long as that is published, anytime an email comes through to my email box, it will do what it's meant to do my email account. But if you leave it off, then it doesn't do anything. So, but when you are doing all of things, you are testing, because with all these things, right? Zapier, Make, and all that, you have every step. It's like waterfall and agile. Waterfall is from the beginning to the end. You test at the end. Agile, you test as you go along. So that's the same as these things. It's like you test as you do one, you test it to see it works. You do the second one, you test to see it works. As you're testing, it's showing the results of what is happening. So it's saying, okay, we've done the trigger, it's come through. From here, we can now map it to these other ones. So we've sent it to OpenAI, where it's created the contents of the topic we're talking about. Then you see that it's happened. Then you now send it to Google document, and you go to Google document, says, okay, is there Google document? Then you now send it to Slack. Then you go to Slack and say, okay, it's there. Then you say, so that when you run the whole thing, it runs smoothly because everything every step has worked. You don't have to wait till the end to start troubleshooting to see where you went wrong. Publish just that, okay, you've published it, and so whenever anything of these things happens, it will run itself. You don't need to be there to run it. Okay, Olu, Emmanuel, what's your question?
Okay, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you for your presentation. So I have two questions. The first one is that, what are the common problems that you've encountered while creating a workflow on Zapier? Because I know Zapier is not perfect, and I know you've been using it. Is there any common problem that you've encountered? That is my first question. The second question is, I was just wondering, I know you said you have, is it accounting or finance background? So is it possible to create a workflow that, in such a way that maybe I have like some spreadsheet data, if Zapier could be used to maybe analyze data, create charts and everything, and automate work in such a way that data analytics is very simple.
Okay, for the first one, because I learned workflow using Make, right? And I was just used to using Make. So if I do anything, whenever I have a problem, I'll just copy everything and paste on Copilot because I use Copilot a lot. It's not as strong as the others, but I use it a lot. And Copilot should now, because I come from I used to implement systems, SAP systems. So I come from a background where when you build and you test. So as I'm building, I'm testing. So once it fails, I'll just go to Copilot and it will work for me, right? So when I used this Zapier, I did not let it do what it was meant to do. When it fails, then I'll go to Copilot. But I didn't need to go to there because all I needed to do was just to come here to this Copilot here and tell it what to do and to fix it. It will fix it. It will tell you, okay, this was happened and this is how to fix it. And if it doesn't work, I'll say, well, it hasn't worked. What I meant to do at step number 5? It will do it again and we'll go through it. But because I come from that background where I'm about building, I kind of know how to make it eventually. If I have to stay up all night, I'll make it work because of that's my background. So for me, that was all I found out because when I was trying to build my I was trying to build something on emails, trying to sort out the emails and say, okay, if this comes through, what's going to happen? I wasn't listening to what it was telling me. I just kept doing my own and just kept troubleshooting and it wasn't working. So I spoke to some other guy that we're in the same class and he said, look, you have to let it do its work. It's saying to you, listen to what it's saying, just let it do it. So when you come here, you ask it, it's going to just keep telling you, it's going to just keep telling you what you've done and it will be building it for you as you go along. And sometimes if you come here as well, it's sometimes you come here because this is working. Okay, if you come here, you can say you can do this as well, Copilot suggestions. Then it will now also work on it and fix it. So you have all of that first before you go anywhere. And about the other workflow you're talking about, yes, it can build all these it can build anything you want to build. It's all about the prompting. You understand? It's all about the prompting. You have to get it right. You have to say to it, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want you to go here, bring this, take this, analyze this, do this, do this, do this. And then if you're using the Canva, it will tell you what it thinks you want, and it will now give you suggestions as well. Yeah, and then you can build up from there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
So So one of the major difference between the Canva and the Zap is that Zap you have to think through. You the one that will be adding the necessary apps. While the
Yeah,
Canva will build it for will tell you which one you need to add if you're
it will
if you're
build it
okay
for
with
you.
it.
It will show you the
So
visual. It should build it for you. It should show you what it is. Yeah. Then you need to say, okay, fine. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. Yes, you create all the steps and everything. Then you now decide, okay, yes, I need to do this. I need to take this out. I need to add this. When I was doing this afternoon, I was doing this and I had something else here. I had a step. I was really getting on my nerves. Tables, I had the tables here. It was meant to update the table. Do you understand? And it just didn't work. But I know that because I'd never used any of the Zapier tools before. Yeah. That's why it wasn't, because even when I use the Zapier AI, the first time I used it just went all over the place. It wasn't working. So I went back to using Open AI. Then later I did it and it worked. So I tried the table for the first time, but it wasn't working. But I was running late, so I had to quickly rush back to the house. But it's like with these things is once you have to just keep troubleshooting. You have to just keep going to Copilot to say, okay, it's not working. I just go and say it's not working. Reduce step 3, reduce step 2. What? No, I'll say, okay, sometimes with the table, I wasn't sure what I was not putting properly. So I said, okay, what do you think is meant to be in that place that is not working? Then he started giving me the list of things that are meant to put there. But like I said, I was running late, so I left it.
So the second question is, do you have a use case for accounting? Since you are from accounting background, you said, have you augmented?
No, I did. Yes, I did. I have an account. I'm ACCA qualified, but I moved into SAP like way after. I haven't done accounting in a long time. But I know that if I have to build an accounting tool, I can build it, because again, it's about the prompting. And that's the thing that you have to understand, that when they tell you about prompting in AI is extremely powerful. It's very powerful. Once you know what you want to do, how you want to do it, it will work. So you have to know, you have to tell it what you want to tell it. And with something like I said with Zapier, if you use something like the Canva, it will give you, like, if you tell it do this, it will now give you other things that it thinks you should add to it. Yeah. And you can add those things to it, and then you can start building. Because you can use things like Google Sheets, Google, all those things. Once you connect yourself, it will go through. Or you can try use their tables as well. And then you see, for me, it hasn't, all the Zapier things haven't worked, except for the AI that is not working, but the tables hasn't worked. I'll probably work on that tomorrow. But you have, that was the first thing I learned about AI that I didn't know about. That I didn't know that the prompting was it. You have to tell it properly what you want, how you want it, what you don't want to see, how you want to see what you want to see. Once you do it right, okay, I want to do this. I want you to go here and pick this up and bring this. I want you to analyze. I want to see the data here. I want you to make this work in a certain way, and you can put it on the spreadsheet. I want you to put it in the dashboard and put it here. It will just prompt it well. It will do, and it will now give you the things you can use to do it. With this Canva, it will give you the tools that you can use to do it. So you have to choose, okay, I want to do this, I want to do it. It will actually give you it will also make you visualize everything you want to do, to show you what it is you're doing. It will think through and say, okay, this is what you've said you want. What do you think? Yeah, and then you can now start building. And like it helps you build step by step. Then at the end, you can run the whole thing. It's just, I mean, Mr. Dada will tell you, it's about prompting is very powerful. Prompting is it. For AI, prompting is it. Because everything you do, even if you want to create an object, you have to prompt. If you want to create text, is it text to voice to text? Everything you have to prompt. It's just getting that prompting right. And but again, with the prompting, what I do when I prompt something, it doesn't feel right, I'll go to Copilot and say, okay, this is what I want to do. Prompt it for me. Then you now rewrite it and give me a different prompt. Now use that to do what I want to do, whatever I want to do. maybe in Gemini or somewhere else. So if you cannot write it properly, you can go to one of them and say, okay, you know what, this is what I'm planning to do. Write me a prompt that will make me do it this way. Yeah. And then you do it that way. And like they always say, you always say you should say things like, for example, I need to build this. So you are maybe something to do, maybe yeah, or maybe something to do computers. You can say, okay, I want you to be Bill Gates. Yeah. I want you to do this like this. And it will do it for you the way like Bill Gates.
And give me money.
Yeah, things like that. So when you are prompting, you have to make sure it's okay. You are the master. You're saying something like you are the master of customer services. You are maybe Mr. Whatever in customer services. I want you to do this and do this and do this and make it do like this. Then make sure you give it examples and say, okay, use this example to do it. If you want to upload a spreadsheet or you want to upload a URL, they can copy. You can upload a template and things like that. Give it examples of what you want and tell it what you don't. Tell it I don't want emojis. I don't want dashes. I don't want this. I don't want you to lie to me. I want you to just, things like that. Tell it what you want.
Yeah.
Then to do it.
Yeah. Prompting is, of course, without prompting, you can't speak to the AI team in the first instance. So I've just finished a paper now. I gave it a simple prompt and it gave me 1 page on this. But when I gave it a prompt with the content, it gave me 16 pages of the same topic. 16 pages compared to when it was just a simple prompt of 1 page. Yeah, so prompting and organizations are looking for prompt engineers, content prompting as well. I'm sure so most of us here know. So it's all about prompting.
How about prompting?
How do you speak to AI?
A few weeks ago, someone told me something about data. They want to build a data center in Nigeria. I just thought, fine. I went to do something. I went to I wrote a prompt and I told Copilot to do it for me, and I put it on Perplexity. The guy was weak because he came up with 32 pages. It gave us places in Lagos, in Lekki, in Badu. I don't know, Badore. Gave us the land, analyzed it, gave us the costing using capex. It was weak, and something like that. You can charge about £2,000 for it, for just that prompting. So you need to know is the prompting that will make what you want to do work. Is the prompting.
Marketing and Accenture, they will charge you 1.5 million.
For all these things. When I get stuck, I'll write what to write, and I'll go to Copilot and say, okay, you know what, I need to put this thing in ChatGPT. I need for you to prompt it well for me. I need to put it in Perplexity, prompt it well for me, and you prompt it. That paper I gave the guy, feasibility study report, he could not understand because he went to it was so detailed. It was 32 pages, and I did it how many minutes? In about 30 minutes. So if you want to, all the things you want to build, just prompt it well. If you are stuck in saying this is what I want, go to tell Copilot or ChatGPT what you want. It will now write for you. Sometimes when I used to build in Make, I will tell you, okay, I need to do this. Give me step by step on how to build this in Make. It will give me step by step. I have 2 laptops. One on the left, one I'll build on my right. I'll copy on the left. And step by step on how to build it, and it will work. Because I did something for this group one time. I built them one of these forms, and it was to fill out the form, trigger something to spreadsheet and all these things. And then they decided next one they wanted unique ID number. I'd never done that before. I just thought, hang on a minute, I went to ChatGPT. It told me how to do it. I built it. It will tell you. How do I build it? If you want to build in Zapier, this thing you're saying, if you're not sure, tell you what you want. Go to ChatGPT. Say, give me a step by step on how to build it. It will give you step by step on how to build it. Then you come to Zapier and start building. YouTube channels as well. There's one guy called Kevin Stadberg. He's very good. I always watch his videos. They're always very, very like 20, 25 minutes. But whatever he's doing is very, very. And when I'm working on with a YouTube person, I do everything they say. I'll screenshot their prompts and copy it and do everything they've done, so it will make sense to me. And I can do my own. But it's the prompting. You can build these things. What you want to build in account, you can build it. Just tell you. That's why they are there. This Zapier has 7,000 different apps that you can connect, that can talk to each other. That's it. Any other questions? I should stop sharing actually.
Any other question? Thank you very much for it. It feels real. Because if you go to YouTube, you will not feel this impact. Yeah, we can go to YouTube to watch it, but this kind of demonstration, this kind of conversation makes a lot of sense. In fact, I've learned a lot from this short session. So the thing is on Rockitech, we, like I said, we don't. So first of all, thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. Please, can we show us some love? Can we show us some love? Clap, emoji, anything. Thank you. So the thing is now we have been introduced to Zapier for those of us that have not used it before. For those people that have been using it before, they chime in. That's fine. So, but one thing I want to do is, if we agree here to take it a notch further or a step further, is can we all go and build something, and we'll come to demonstrate in there's a free version for those of us who have not signed up before. Free version, 14 days free version is, if we agree. If we don't agree, that's fine, we carry on with this in this not. So if we agree that okay, we want to go and try our hands on this, and then we'll build. If we run into any obstacle, of course, she has told us you have all the assistants around you, ChatGPT, and if you don't want to ask, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. But those guys will eventually help you out, from ChatGPT to Claude to Grok to Perplexity to Gemini to Copilot. At least one of them will get the solution. So if we are up for it, that we want to take it as a challenge to go and build something. So it's from this building that we can now even think about how we're going to up our game in terms of monetization. So she just said of somebody that she helped back home in Nigeria. So if we know how to do this, we've discussed that to render service for a client, you can either build in your own workspace or build in their own. So whatever version you want to use, either in their own or this, you add your additional fee to it to have something on top, and then they will be getting the end product as something as sending out mails, making phone calls, and so. So if we are up for it to build something, let's see how we can work together. So thank you very much for that once again. I'll stop recording now.
Another thing I was going to say was that if you can go to one of these chatbots and just say, give me the top 5 videos or 10 videos on Zapier. You understand? They will give you the top 10, and you can say, okay, no more than 30 minutes. I don't like watching more than that. I don't want 1 hour or 2 hours. I just get confused. So, or you do what you want to do, but ask for it. Instead of you going around and looking for the videos that you want to see, it will give you the videos that everybody top 10 or top 5, whatever, and then you can work with that. When I work with these videos, I build with the person. So it can be 25 minutes, but I'll probably work for about maybe 90 minutes because I'm building with the person. Like I said, I'll copy the person's prompt, put it on my own, copy the person's data, create data, put it on my own so that I understand it when I'm building, so that later when I'm doing my own, it makes more sense to me. I don't use mine when I'm doing the other people, but that's me anyway. But just use these things, use them, use everything you need is there. Everything you need is there. Just tell it what you want, how you want it. It will do it for you.